Welcome student. Today we are going to learn about land as a natural resource. While going through it, the discuss some question on it. Can you tell me what is the land is made up of? Is the land flat everywhere? What do you see on the land? Does man produce soil or land? What has man created on the land? If a deep pit is dug in the ground, what do you find there? Land is seen in the form of stone, soil, big rocks. It is not flat everywhere. It is hilly in some places and it is flat in others. All the terrestrial animals, including man, live on the land. How does the terrestrial animals live on a land? Some terrestrial animals dig burrows in the ground for their shelter. This means that they use the land for fulfilling their needs. We also use the land for farming. We grow a crop on by farming in the land, and for building houses and roads the land is useful for human beings. Then next use of land, that we make use of plants and animals in the forest that grow on a land. The mineral like crude oil and natural gas is obtained from the earth or from the core of earth through a land. They are very important for us. It means that the land is an important resource for human being. Now, let us learn that what is the land is made up of. For understand this, let's do one activity. First, take a transparent plastic bottle, a handful of soil, some stone, sand, some dry leaves and water. Then next, cut off the upper tapering part of the bottle as shown in figure. Put the rest of material in the lower part and add water. After that, stir the mixture thoroughly and put it aside. Then observe the bottle in next day and answer the following question. How does the mixture in the bottle look now? Do you see layers in it? What is seen in the different layers top to the bottom? The land on the earth also look like this. After that, if a pipeline is being laid in your neighborhood, observe carefully the pits dug for this purpose. You will see some layers under the land surface. Now let's learn about the different layers of the soil. If the land has mature soil, the topmost layer is formed by a decomposition of the remain of plants and animals. This topmost layer is called as humus. It is usually found in the dense forest. In the humus, it is topmost layer of soil. It has found the leaves and dead microorganisms and organisms. The land below this soil layer, the full of sand, soil, small stone, worms and insect are found. Soil and pieces of bedrock are found below this layer of land. This soil is immature. Further below this layer, the proportion of soil is decreases and that of rock is get increasing. Means below the layer of soil, the rock amount is get increased or bedrocks are formed. This is the layer of bedrock. The main mineral in the soil are derived from these rocks. Due to these rocks, the soil from different region is found different. The color of soil, then texture of soil are both determined due to the bedrock. Now, when you visit to different places or different village, that time you observe the color and texture of the land. You have found that the color and texture of land at various places is differs due to the bedrock. Found that the soil of various places is somewhat dark in color, somewhat reddish in color, or some it is yellow due to the amount of minerals present in the bedrock. The soil is get various in color. Now let us learn about the process of soil formation. The soil on the land is formed by the natural processes such as due to the effect of air, water and some biotic and abiotic component, the soil is get formed. The abiotic components of soil are supplied through the weathering of a bedrock. Now, what is meant by weathering? The weathering is the process as a season changes such as rainy, summer or winter season, the all the rocks are get disintegrate or they are break down into a small pieces, and due to this the soil is formed due to the heat, cold and water of the sun, wind and rain respectively. The bedrocks are break down into a pieces. Stone, sand and soil are formed from these pieces. These are the abiotic factors. Now, due to the biotic factors such as microbes, worm and insect are also found among them. The rodent like mice and the rats are also found here. The roots of trees growing on the land also help to the weathering of a rock. This process of soil formation is slow and continuous. It took a lot of years, or it take about thousands of years for form a 2.5 centimeter thick layer of mature soil is to form. We know that the land is a very important natural resource. So, the soil is can get destroyed in the short period due to the flood, storms and human activities such as mining. That is why it is necessary to conserve the soil and to prevent erosion of a land. The best remedy for this is to increase the green cover of land. It means that we have to do a much more plantation on a land cover. The erosion of land is reduced if grass, trees and bushes are grown in it. Do you know, student? The humus is the layer formed on the soil due to the decomposition of dead plants, animals and microorganisms. Humus supplies nutrient to the soil. Humus is also important for aerating the soil and for holding the water in the soil. The proportion of humus in the upper layer of good fertile soil is about 33 to 50%. Now let's learn crude oil such as petrol, diesel or natural gas are formed. Long years ago, the forest on the land got buried under due to the great upheavals. Upheavals means earthquake or volcanoes that look a place on the earth. After that, the process of formation of fossils fuels from the remain of living things is took place underground. We get the fuels like petrol, diesel, kerosene, paraffin and water and such another. They are useful material like tar and wax from the fossil fuel. This is called as crude oil. All the living things use land, water and air available on the earth, and so does man. However, the portion of these resources that are actually put to use are very small as compared to the whole earth. It means that the whole earth is too huge as compared to this, the air, water and land, the proportion of it is very less. Now look at the following table. In that table, the land is available only 29%. The potable water or the fresh water which we have to use for drinking and other activity is just 0.3%, and oxygen that we use for respiration, that is in the atmosphere, is about 21%. Even in this a small proportion, these resources are shown in the table are sufficient for all the living things. Only it is necessary or very important for man to control this grid. In other words, he must use this resource judiciously, or it means very carefully. With the awareness, we have to create the awareness in the people that they are meant for all the other living things and not just for a mankind. Institutional work. Institute at the work, the Indian Metrological Department, that is IMD, was established in 1875 for studying the weather in the Indian subcontinent. The main function of this institute is to observe the weather and to make weather forecast. This institute also conduct the research related to change in weather. They make forecasts about rain and studies the development related to as a global warming. Now see what we have learned from this lesson. First, the element available in the nature which fulfill the basic needs of living things, that is food, shelter and cloth, are called natural resources. The air, water and land are important natural resources. Soil has a both biotic and abiotic constituent. There are many constituents of the air such as nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide and inert gases, water vapor and dust particle. The ozone layer is a protective shell of the earth. Natural resources should be used very carefully and sparingly. Difficult words from this content. Answer the following question and write down their answer in your notebook.